Expedition 33 has skyrocketed in my personal gaming list to the top 5. To say that it's been on my mind every day since I finished it is an understatement. The world and the characters that inhabit it, the music, the writing, all of it stored in my mental hard drive where I can peek in and have a look when I please. 33 was an experience and I'm still on a high, especially after now having completed a second playthrough. Knowing all the twists and turns give a new dimension to the game. It's like going back and watching a TV show you like and being able to spot things that were hinted at that you initially missed because you didn't understand the full context. And it's here that I'd like to retract a statement I made in my review last month. I made a claim that Gustav was only like a placeholder for Verso and that it diminished both characters slightly. After another run I can formally say that I was chatting utter shite. Sandfall are on a high and deservedly so. They created a masterpiece and should be allowed this bit of time to celebrate one hell of an accomplishment, especially when the kings of the RPG scene are paying you massive compliments. Square Enix themselves have said they're gonna have a look at what Sandfall did right and take it into future titles. It's always nice to see when other developers inspire each other to do better work and help lift the industry out of the stinking quagmire we're currently in. But once all the champagne has popped and the party's settled, Sandfall have to make a choice. They either bow out and leave on a high as a one and done studio, or they do what I think is most likely and they keep creating. I'm sure they already have ideas for what's to come next for the studio and other titles that may or may not be in the works. But as someone who can probably call themselves a fan, I have a few caveats that need to be addressed. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried that Sandfall are going to take the fattest of dubs and let it go to their heads. This is like step 1 on how not to be a dick. These guys and gals need to keep a level head, or all the goodwill that they've earned will be gone faster than food when I'm at a buffet. Keep the same attitude they showed when promoting the game, in its release window, and most of all, how they were when a select group of people were pissed that Expedition 33 and Sandfall didn't meet certain political standards. They put out one tweet, and that was it. Didn't interact with it further, and the situation died out fast. That is what a certain head of Borderlands needs to be doing right now, instead of running your bloody mouth off. Next is a pretty obvious choice. Square are saying they're taking a lesson from you, and you need to take a lesson from them. Hire Lorien Testard and Alistair Pour-Pesser full time. I make a point to listen to a few tracks to the score whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, or if I'm on a hype at the gym, if I'm just relaxing at home, or anywhere. That score is so damn versatile and shows a high degree of skill and knowledge in the craft. Look at what Square's been able to achieve with composers like Nobuo Uematsu, Masashi Hamauzu and Yoko Shimomura. These three are giants in video game composition and all work primarily for Square. Take these two on and keep them close. Don't let that talent they showed be a one and done thing for the studio. And that actually kind of ties into what Sandfall needs to prove though, right? I've mentioned that a couple of times, one and done. Whether Sandfall bow out, find new composers, have their reputation fall, it all comes down to that one question. But the biggest thing is what they make next. And what they make next will answer all of these what ifs. And even if they have a load of ideas for new games and whatnot, they need to build on the foundation they set and stick with Clair Obscur. Now, I'm not talking about telling the story of another expedition, even though I would happily take a DLC of Expedition 60. Seeing a bunch of roided up men and women just bear-clarting Neverons would be fucking hilarious. But I mean, Sandfall have already got people comparing Clair Obscur to Final Fantasy, so maybe they should treat it like Final Fantasy. Each Final Fantasy is separate from the others unless they share a number, but with Clair Obscur, they have hinted at so much going on outside of that canvas. Hell, Claire straight up says to Alicia that her being in the canvas and reborn as one of their mother's creations will keep her safe until she gets back from doing something related to the writers, probably committing a war crime. We know that the writers were responsible for the fire that took Verso's life, that Alicia blames herself for it, and has shown that Verso was an accomplished pianist before his death. So what did Claire do to the writers? What did Alicia do that made the writers want to burn down the DeSandro mansion in the first place? Are there other guilds or groups aside from the artists, the writers, and the musicians? Clair Obscur could be taken in so many different avenues if you base each world on a different art. With Expedition 33, we had the artists. We know there are writers and musicians around. They're established in 33's plot. What about dancers? Actors, hell, even comedians. I want to see Clair Obscur grow and expand. Have the outside world and its goings on as a separate story. Let the feuds between families and groups grow in each game and allow that world to be in its own, of course. But each individual story can be based on so many different art mediums, because there's more to art than just painting. Speaking for myself, I'm of course just chatting out my arse. I'm a nerd making YouTube videos in his bedroom when I'm not working or playing Magic the Gathering. I know nothing about making a game, but me and the people like me looking for that escape into another world are the people game devs should listen to. Sandfall probably won't see this video, hell, I doubt this video will get many views in the first place, but the only way that we can get what we want in our content is if enough of us stand up and say, or we do it ourselves. I'm not a game dev, but the people at Sandfall are, and they have the best opportunity in the world to really make a name for themselves. Take what was great about Expedition 33 and use it as a springboard instead of a straitjacket. I'm a fan of Sandfall, and I cannot wait to see what they do next.